There's been a lot that's been written of late about storytelling and how important storytelling is. And really, what a lot of folks are defining as storytelling is about personal communication. It's that connectiveness, it's the emotional connectivity that a viewer or a listener has to a story that most often in a corporate environment, an enterprise environment, has to do with a response to a brand or a way to reinforce a brand identity or a way to have a customer or a potential customer want to connect and want to do business with you. So as we look at storytelling, one of the things that is really critical is to figure out what the takeaway is going to be for an audience. It might be a call to action, it might be an emotional response, but it's usually some sort of tangible expectation you have for an audience to feel or do after they've engaged in your media. That can be the hardest part. Most often, people want a story to do all things. Those stories most often do nothing. They're unfocused, they don't have a direction, you don't know what to do or where to go. So it's really critical that you spend a lot of time before you start creating any sort of media, be it video or writing or podcast, that you figure out what your destination is going to be. That's the key to good storytelling. You start at the end and then work backwards, if you will. Once you have a destination in mind, you're also going to have a better idea who's your audience. We see a lot of storytelling that's a disconnect because someone will create, let's say, a video that's very technical for a general audience. It's so specific that people get lost, they don't care about it, there's more detail than they care about. Or the other side, conversely, it's for a very technical audience and it's too general. And they go, this is stupid, this isn't what I need. Doesn't have the credibility, the information that I need. So you need to have a clear definition of who your audience is. Okay, so we've figured out what you want to accomplish. You've begun to figure out who your audience is going to be. Now you've got a set of guidelines that in the process of telling that story can help you shape that story, to make decisions through that process of telling that story so that you're going to be more likely to deliver on your expectation. For video storytelling, shorter is better. Most people are disengaging from video. A huge percentage of folks are gone within the first 10 seconds of your video. So those of you who are still here, thank you for sticking around. I really appreciate it.
I think they're mesmerized by your glasses right now, because I am.
Yeah, my ruby red glasses. So you have to understand that folks are exceedingly likely to disengage from your video. Over half your folks are going to be gone in the first 45 seconds. So you better get your message, at least a version of your message, especially if it's a call to action, early in your video, and then bring it around as a reinforcement on the back end. So go ahead.
So can you guys let's go to some actual examples. Give me some examples of you working with clients and like kind of a before and after situation. They were handling things this way in video, and now because they really focus on storytelling, they handle it this way. Just sort of explain to sort of the revision before and after.
Sure, absolutely. So we'll often find a client that is trying to create a video that is direct, what I call a direct education video. It may be a video that helps someone install a piece of software or a piece of equipment. Those videos, they talk about what to do instead of showing what to do. The great thing about video is you can give examples, but you don't have to explain them. You can show them and then kind of walk somebody through that process. So we may have clients that sit there and do long talking heads shot against a wall. It's a white wall. It looks like they've just been arrested. The lighting's usually pretty hideous. And they are more concerned in the specific actions than helping somebody to understand the process. So if it's installing a piece of equipment, they're more talking about the feature sets of that equipment than showing the feature sets of equipment. So if we can sit down and help them to get to the point faster, help them to understand that it's an intrinsically visual medium, so therefore show them what it does, demonstrate what's going to happen. And then if we can make certain that they get to the point faster, get through it quicker, that's really important. Another example would be someone who's trying to do a brand identity or something that's revolving around brand. We find that they try to be all things to the brand is very large. It's very nebulous. It's hard to explain what they're trying to do. So if we can help them to focus on what the takeaways are going to be, what the emotional response is going to be, and to not be so overly specific that the folks disengage, that they work on a more emotional level and a more visceral level than intellectual level, and are consistent over and over and over again with that brand message. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. Of course it does. Hey, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate
I
it.
appreciate the opportunity. This is really great, and hopefully we'll have a chance to talk again soon.